Have you got loads of who gives a crap toilet paper? Or have you got heaps of old newspaper or magazines? Well, I'm going to show you how to recycle that and make this beautiful Christmas wreath. A few things you need is some paper. As I said, you don't have to go, definitely don't go out and buy new newspaper or anything like that, because that's not very sustainable. You need a stapler, a glue gun. I've cut this cardboard ring out of just an old cardboard box. Scissors, and also some bull nose clips, which I'll show you what to do shortly. So I'm going to take you through the steps. We're going to make big ones of these and then little ones. Let me show you how they work. So the big ones actually glue around the outside of the ring, and the little ones go on the inside, and then you make a little bow. So let's go. Show you how to make the big ones first. Grabbing some paper, and as I said, any type of paper is fine, but you sort of want to make it nice and large so they flap around. So doing heaps of them at a time actually speeds up the cutting process. So folding it all up, that will do for now. Now, the reason why we've got these little clips is I started to try and cut it, and by the time I got to the end, it had all gone all sort of out of sync, and I was cutting really wonky angles. So what I do is I just clip that there and clipping there. So as you can see, that keeps the piece of the paper together nicely. Then you just want to, so it's the folded edge that's together there, and that's the open edge. And then you just want to cut along and leave a little bit at the edge. The width of the tassel is about a couple of centimeters. This is exactly why you want to do a few at a time, because if you're doing each of these separately, it will take way, way longer. So the clips are keeping it together nicely. You don't have to be perfect with how far apart it is. Okay, undo the clips, and here we go. If you've got weird bits of colouring, I tried to fold that in, so just folding it to there, and then you're just keeping on folding it together, folding in half again, and then folding it there, and then simply just stapling it, and you just keep repeating. Folding it in half, folding it in half, half again, and then you want to fold it until it's about a couple of centimeters, and then stapling it. So they're the large ones. Now I'm going to show you how to do these little baby ones that go around the inside of the wreath. So again, folding up your paper. We'll do a few at a time, and there's a few more steps to this because you want to cut it nice and small so you get that the baby little tassels for the middle. Okay, so we've got all of these in half, but what I'm going to do now is just put them inside each other and then cut it through the middle. Super easy, just speeding up the process. Cutting through the middle. So you've got them in half, and then you're actually going to fold that in half again and cutting through the middle there. So you've kind of got a quarter of the size, and then we do the same process as we did with the larger ones, folding them, and again those little clips come in very handy to keep it all aligned so you're not cutting crooked. One more. And then making sure they're all in line. This time I only need one clip because it's a lot shorter. And then again, you're just cutting, you're leaving the folded edge there, you're cutting along, leaving about a centimetre, cutting along. Now the next step to make it a double-sided tassel is, you would have noticed that you want to find the matching ones. So these two are the matching ones, they're the same piece of paper. So we're just going to fold it in half, the same process as we did for the larger one. In half again, and in half. Now, this is where it gets a bit tricky, because I want to hold that like that, but I want to fold this one here as well. So folding there, takes a bit of fiddling. Now what you want to do, is you've got this one here, that one there, and you want to hold it together like that, and then you're going to staple right there. And there you have it, a little baby one there. So we've got two different size tassels, and I'm going to show you how to glue them shortly. But the larger tassels you can see are at the back there, and then you can see the smaller tassels, which we've made just a minute ago, there, so they stick around the middle. All right, looking at the back of that, that's what the back of it looks like. All right, so let's have a look at how we do that process. Okay, so as you can see, I've been super busy cutting and stapling, and we are ready to go. All right, so this is going to be very different to the first one. The first one was black and white. This one's going to be super colorful. So we'll put all this to the side, and I'll go back and show you that cardboard ring again. It doesn't really matter what size you make your cardboard ring. This one's about 30 centimeters wide, and you want to make sure that the cardboard section is large enough to glue onto. So I've got my glue gun here, and I've got my first little tassel. So you start with the large tassels, and you want to do them all the way around the outside. A little dab of glue and sticking it on. I'm going to alternate colours, themes, little dab of glue and sticking it on. This part of the process is actually the quickest part. The cutting is this part that takes the longest. Alternating colours so it's nice and vibrant for our door. So you do the outside section first. You can see it's already starting to come together. Such a fantastic use of unwanted paper. As I said, you can use magazines or newspaper, old wrapping paper, or who gives a crap, toilet paper. And there we have it. There's the outside edge, and you can see it's already coming together beautifully. So that was with the long tassels. Now you'll remember earlier we made these shorter tassels, which are to put around the middle. So the longer tassels are taking up all of the cardboard, so you just glue the shorter tassels on top of the larger ones. So as I said, it doesn't really matter what size the cardboard ring is, but you need to make sure it's large enough so that the little tassels don't, there's still a hole in the middle once you've stuck the little tassels on. If you're a perfectionist doing this, then you really don't need to be a perfectionist, because the messier it is, the more authentic it is. So you can see all of the tassels are on it, but you'll recall from the one earlier that you've got to put a pretty bow on it. So I'm going to use a colour paper that really pops and stands out on the wreath. So we're going to use this bright yellow one. So I'm going to show you how to construct the bow. So folding the piece of paper in half, doesn't matter how big you want the bow to be pretty big. So we're going to fold this piece of paper and we're going to cut it in half. And I'm just going to fold the edges in so that it doesn't show the back side of the paper. Folding that in like that. So you've got a rectangle, and watch this. You just squeeze it in with your hands, and then you just build the bow like that. All right, so we'll keep that squeezed together. I'm going to cut a tiny little piece of this paper now and fold this in half and then wrap that round the middle. Cute. And get some of my glue again. And that will hold the bow in place nicely. So now you need the tassels. So folding the piece of paper in half again, cutting it in half. I'm going to make my tassels quite long, so I'm just going to fold that in half again, just so you don't see the underside of it. So that's going to go like that. You want to make your two tassels the same width. All right, so I might glue them together now. And then glue it onto the back of the bow. And then you've got to do the bottom section. Coming together nicely. And then just to cut the bottom bit, I'm just going to do a bit of a triangle. And like that. I might just glue that together so that stays nice and presentable. And there we have it, our bow. So I'm going to choose the section of the wreath that's going to allow this yellow to pop. So there's a bit of yellow at the top here, so I'm actually going to place that, I'm going to glue that there. So getting the glue gun again, just finding a nice spot, big dob of glue this time. And there we have it. We have our super cute Christmas wreath made out of recycled paper. Hope you really enjoyed that video. Merry Christmas, and we'll see you next time on the channel.